Oh, if you were wondering what that glorious throat clear was, that was me unmuting David's mic just a little too early.
It's okay, sorry. I was getting ready.
All right.
in the swig of water and just getting ready, getting loose.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He's feeling it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little TV talk here on a Tuesday. Josh Macuga, David Griffin, live here every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and whatever time zone you're finding us in. It's great to see everybody. Good to see people in chat. Daniel Savuya, Scott Welch, MKS Songbird, Michael Kautzer, Jonathan Peck.
Hello. Let's get nuts.
You want to get
Michael
nuts?
Kautzer says
let's get nuts.
Michael Keaton,
the best Batman. You can fight me on it. I'm not going to fight anybody.
I won't fight you on that one.
I'm not going
to
fight
Keaton. I mean, he was my Batman. 89. I was 4 or 5 years old. I mean, come on. Yeah.
It's the best Batman movie ever made. The Dark Knight is good. It's good.
It's pretty good,
but
movie.
It's no Batman 1989. Okay, it's no.
Tim
Listen,
Burton.
David. Here's my opinion on what superhero movies should be. Okay.
Oh boy.
They should be somewhere between 1989 Batman, okay, and the first Ant-Man. Okay. Character pieces with a little bit of humor. A lot of newness to it. Still feels like a superhero movie, but also a comic book movie. I think that a lot of the Marvel movies.
I feel like you basically described the last 30 films that Marvel's made. I mean, for the big team ups. They have the humor.
Those big team ups.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the Avengers stuff.
I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just going to tell you straight up. 1989 Batman is the best one. It's dark. It's gritty. It's gross. It has like a comical nature to it. And the Joker is like kind of insane in a really good way. I think that Heath Ledger's Joker is just plain insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And an iconic soundtrack, Prince. Yeah, Prince and Danny Elfman. I feel like with a lot of the Marvel movies, I don't remember the soundtrack except for, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, because James Gunn picks all this crazy music that we love. But yeah, that was an iconic soundtrack with the Batman.
Yes. Well, we're here. We're talking some TV, and it's really hard, and I think we've said it on the show before. It's so hard to not be tired as a parent. So when I finally get in bed, I'm like, I'm gonna watch a full episode. And then I wake up and I'm 5 episodes in, and I don't know where the hell I am, and I got to rewind it back to a point where I think I was in an episode, and then I just give up on the show.
Yeah, and then I get sidetracked easily. So when I do have time at night before bed, which isn't much time, I'll go on YouTube and I'll see a golf instructional video or a behind the scenes, look at the Buffalo Bills practice and see how they're doing. And I'm like, maybe I'll watch the Buffalo Bills practice for 30 minutes. Just see some grown men in practice jerseys throwing the ball around for 30 minutes. That sounds like fun. I could watch an episode of TV, but I'll just watch this. This is good.
Ooh, wait a second. Pittsburgh could win the Super Bowl? Well, I'm clicking on this one. Who's this guy?
Yeah, it's he knows what he's talking about.
never miss a chip shot again? Oh, well, don't mind if I do. 45 minutes later, son of a, you're supposed to watch a TV show.
Yeah.
But my pick of the week, which I will get to at the end of the show, Amanda and I started the show, and I am just smitten with another comedy, David.
Okay.
Finally, Netflix released a comedy that I want to watch. It's actually pretty good, and that's my tease for the pick of the week, David. In 50 minutes, you'll get my pick of the week here, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
How about Scott Welch? Michael Giacchino's score for the Batman is outstanding.
Yes, it is.
Was that the one with Robert Pattinson?
Our Pats, man. Our Pats.
Now, I watched the first hour of that movie on an airplane. And
there are 2 more hours after that, Josh. You need to watch about 2 more hours. Yeah.
And an hour in, I was just good. Ugh.
It's pretty dark.
It sucked.
Really?
It is raining the whole time.
It is. Well, it's supposed to be gritty and noir, and it's moody and emo. I mean, it's all that.
David, Nevada's in a drought. Where's all this water coming from?
Gotham doesn't have droughts. Gotham doesn't have a problem with drought. They have flooding issues, but no drought.
Yes. Jonathan Peck said Ludwig Göransson's score for Black Panther is stellar. Yeah.
And Ludwig, he just did Interstellar. I'm thinking of Chris Nolan. He just did Oppenheimer, and he's also the composer on Mandalorian. Mandalorian has that opening score for Mandalorian is great. Ludwig is pretty good, pretty solid.
What would you think if I went into your neighborhood and I just wrote Inheimer underneath stop sign? So it'd be Stoppenheimer. What do you think?
No? I don't know about that, John. I'm not saying you can't try it. I don't know, Josh. I don't know.
Oh man. Anthony Dupree said, "Don't say the Batman sucks, man. You're killing me." Why, were you in the movie? Are you Robert Pattinson? Did you direct it? Did you produce it? I'd like to know. No,
I enjoyed the film, Anthony. I enjoyed the Batman.
I think I just have such superhero fatigue, and maybe David, maybe they just were never for me.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
just
possible.
Yeah. They weren't making Robert Pattinson Batman for me.
Yeah.
George says, I guess it's safe to say you're not excited for the Penguin TV show with Colin Farrell and Max. Hey, listen,
Colin Farrell, that's like a crime drama. Yeah, that's a crime drama. That could be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
MKS Songbird, the first episode of Telemarketers 3-part docuseries on HBO was pretty wild. I got to watch this. Did you watch it?
About that. No, but I heard about it.
Okay. I haven't watched episode 2 of Winning Time yet, and I haven't. I'm for the fifth straight week. I'm still trying to finish Mayans. But Lioness and I know, dude. You know what? I'm just gonna make it the running joke. I'm just gonna make it the running joke. That's what I'm gonna do. Thank you all for being here. If you guys want to support the show, you can throw in some super chats, and you can you can Streamlabs. The Streamlabs is there pinned on the YouTube video, so you can watch it there. David and I got some requests to rank some things, and that people are liking when we rank things. So I posted a link at the top of the chat. You can see IMDb. Basically, if you go on IMDb, they'll list every show that was released in 2016. That was their first season, and it's listed by popularity. So I only went through the first 300 or 400 shows, because once I get to 500, not even me watches those. Tom G said, I started a new cop show. Will Trent seems good so far. Amanda
that sounds British. That has to be British. Oh,
it's American. Amanda loves it. Yeah.
It sounds British. Will Trent. Ramon Rodriguez. I don't know him, that actor. I don't know.
I don't know him personally, but I also don't know him in the show either.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of Hollywood, I don't know him, I should say. Not that I don't know him.
MKS Songbird have been enjoying that Korean superhero series Moving on Hulu. First 7 episodes dropped last week.
Okay.
Go on, MKS Songbird. What's it about? Pitch us. Give us the elevator pitch. How about you throw in a super chat, 99 cents, $1, $1.50. Give us the elevator pitch as to why we should be watching Moving, and we'll talk about it on the show. Because, like I said, we're going to rank maybe every other week. We come up with some definitive lists of ranking things. And as you look back on TV, it would be fun. We're going to do 2016 shows that were released in 2016.
Are we going to make our way up 2016 and just go to present, maybe up to 2022 at least?
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. And then maybe why don't we go back to 2001?
Ooh.
And then even into I would think maybe 1995 is where we should start, right? And then work our way to, because there was, before streaming, there was still TV.
There was. I think I wasn't. The list might have to be a little smaller because I don't think I was tighter. Yeah, it's probably 95. Yeah.
All right, so let's start in 2000.
Then. Okay, there we go. I like that.
2000. The Millennium.
Yes.
The Millennium Falcon. And then, if you guys have any lists that you would like us to get to, I pitched top 10 drama characters all time, which is a ginormous list, which is tough, right? But some of those big lists are always fun, and they could be 2-parters, whatever. Michael T says, been binging SVU for the better part of a year. Very easy watch and always enjoyable. Hey, as we called it, they solve it.
Yeah.
They solve it.
Every episode, they solve it.
You know, it would be awesome if somebody could solve if any one of these Trump indictments actually is a thing. It seems like they go to the movie theater. Hey, he stole popcorn. Put him in jail. And now he can't run for president. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore, David. I have no idea.
I feel like, yeah. I can't trust the news. Who can you trust? You can trust us to tell you what TV shows are good and what TV shows aren't.
You can trust these two beauties, okay?
Or at least to give you recommendations. Not like what you like. Always like what you like, but at least give you recommendations.
Yes. Tom G says, can our kids qualify for top 10 drama characters? Yeah. Because Rosie, dropping off Rosie today at school, was that a drama situation? Apparently not the great. Leo says, Josh, did you hear about Stevie Nicks talking about Daisy Jones? No, go on. Is there drama? I loved Daisy Jones and the Six. That's like top shows of 2023 so far. It's so good. Did you watch it yet, David?
No, I still haven't watched it.
God damn it, David.
I know. I hear good things. When you finish Mayans, I'll start watching Daisy Jones and the Six. You text me like, David, I finished Mayans. I will start watching Daisy Jones and the Six. I'll make that deal with you.
I want to give a shout out to our friend Kate Van D, who said, what about a show? Remember last week we were talking about how I hate shows set in Boston. I don't want to see any more shows in Boston. Okay. Well, she was like, do a show in Indianapolis. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And it's shocking last week, David. We didn't say we should set a show in Buffalo. We should have a show in Buffalo.
There was a show that was in Buffalo, like a pretty popular one. Oh, no, you know what? No, they just did episodes. X-Files one time did an episode in Buffalo. That was huge. I think they even filmed it's probably some outside shots, like some setup shots. So I was like, it's huge. They were in Buffalo. I think it was X-Files. They did like one episode in Buffalo.
I like you're like, there was a show in Buffalo. There was a whole series. It was just one episode of X-Files.
Yeah, it might have just been one episode.
Not enough shows are based in Buffalo. Really and truly. Buffalo. Well, the only show in town is Josh Allen.
Josh Allen and the Bills.
I was telling David before we went live, I met a gentleman playing golf from Buffalo this weekend. Lovely guy, great mustache. Everybody with a mustache seems like good people these days, really and truly. Back in the day, it was like porn stars and kid touchers. Now it's just like solid hipsters and people that want comments on their face, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they can't grow out the glorious facial hair that me and David can. Okay, when nobody can grow out, I think you would look sick in a mustache.
I don't know. Ooh, you okay there, Josh?
Yeah, sorry about that. Leo says, Stevie Nicks says it brought back memories that made her feel like a ghost watching my own story. Yes, I think she loved it and wished Christine could have seen it. I know, Christine McVie. I'll tell you what.
Was Christine a member of
Fleetwood Mac?
Fleetwood Mac, okay. Wow.
Did you just say
almost REO Speedwagon? I was like, sorry. I'm so out of love. I'm lost here without you. Sorry,
that's not REO Speedwagon.
Oh no, which one's that? Is that
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I think that's Foreigner. I think that's Foreigner.
I'm way off. I wasn't even close.
Can somebody...
Journey, Chicago, they'll kind of sound the same after.
Hey. Journey is a band amongst the royals and the heavens.
I do know that's Steve Perry. Am I right? Yes. At least he used to be the lead singer. Okay.
He sold his soul to the devil for the voice of an angel, David.
Yeah. Incredible voice.
That's what people talk about. Thanks for that, Leo. I mean, that makes me happy because I was hoping it wouldn't be like, oh, I don't like it because he didn't. No, the fact that she said it was, it's awesome. Because that show and even the soundtrack. Oh, man, David, you got to watch it.
Okay.
It's so good.
So good.
Okay. Okay, let's get here on okay. So first things first. Obviously, if you know anything about me, you know I'm not like a Star Wars expert, but perhaps David Griffin could be. So
I dabble. I can dabble.
You can dabble.
I can dabble.
You can add credibility to this show, David.
I can try. Yes.
There's Doofus Magoo, that's me, and there's old credibility Kathy over there. Okay. Now,
hello.
Hello.
Getting a little silly today. Oh, it's already been a week. You know, it's all right though. We're good.
Dude, it's Tuesday and I feel like it's Friday. It has been a long week. Holy moly. Michael T says, have you guys seen Foundation yet on Apple TV? It's David's favorite show.
I have no idea what it's about. I still don't know what's going on.
Every time I've seen a trailer.
There's this guy named Harry Seldon, and he's living inside this cube that's like a mathematical equation that predicts the future, and it's called psychohistory. You ever heard of something like that, Josh? Psychohistory?
If you were really pitching me this show as let's say I'm the Hollywood executive and you're the writer, I'm no way.
You would have been like, get out of here, leave, get out of here, never come back. Yeah, I couldn't pitch it. Yeah.
Okay. MKS Songbirds have Foundation is, or Daniel Sabuya Foundation is finally rolling. MKS Foundation is great. Step up from the first. I'll be honest.
I agree.
Even if there's a foundation, I'm not putting a house on it.
Yeah, Josh, I wouldn't push you to watch that one. Yeah, Josh has come with the jokes. Got some heaters today. Heaters.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Doesn't Pretty Hard Cases on Freevee take place in Buffalo? That you just made up a show, Michael Kautzer. You just made up a show. That doesn't exist. That's not a
Pretty
thing.
Hard Cases.
You just made up a show.
No, it's a comedy drama series.
Oh.
Officer Sam and Kelly meet for the first time during a failed arrest of drug dealer Raffy. When they discover they are investigating the same criminal gang, they begin to work together, but their personalities are far from compatible. Ooh, but
does it say it's shot in Buffalo?
It does not say it's in Buffalo, but doesn't mean it isn't.
Pretty Hard Cases is based in Canada, and it's finished.
Oh man, I got really excited for a second.
To Buffalo? It's close to
Buffalo? Canada. I mean, yeah. Well, if it's Ontario,
yeah,
you can get to Toronto in about 90 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close enough.
What about Dark Winds? Where's Dark Reefism says Dark Winds is great.
Dark Winds is great, but that's in the Southwest. That's not that's about that's not in it's a good show though. It is.
What's it about?
It's that one I've been telling you about. It's like a
you brought this
it's a crime drama that takes place on a reservation. It's got like some supernatural element. It's cool. It's really cool. It's on AMC Plus.
It's got the guy
the guy from Fargo.
And the guy from Longmire.
Yeah, he's been in a
Yeah, you know the actor.
I know you're talking about.
Michael Kautzer, my bad. Michael Kautzer, quit inventing TV shows about Buffalo. Okay, how about that?
I appreciate the effort.
Back to the rundown here. We should just call this show Off the Rails. Let's just call it what it is. Right? Let's just do what it is. Okay. Okay. So I watched 2 Ahsoka. Is it Ahsoka or just Ahsoka?
Just Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
You don't do the It's just Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka.
It's just Ahsoka.
Would you like a soda? Oh. No, I'll take a super Ahsoka.
No, it's just Ahsoka. Just this.
You got a squirt gun, Mom, and you didn't get the super Ahsoka? Oh, come on, Mom. You know, we spend our hard money watching crappy TV shows about Boston, and you didn't get the super Ahsoka?
No, Boston. Of course, in Star Wars and any sci-fi shows, it cracks me up when people just show up and they start having all these different accents. I'm like, why? What's like? Why are they from New Jersey? What's the accent here? What's going on here?
Was it Bill Burr who was in The Mandalorian when he was like, he was like, oh, he's fucking guys.
Oh,
no Ahsoka for you. Yes,
that's good. That's good.
Okay, so
Hayden Christensen, Josh.
Is he in it? Is he going to be in it?
Well, it looks like it's a flashback. So Anakin was Ahsoka's teacher. We get to see them together on the Clone Wars animated series, and then of course we know what happens to Anakin. There's no spoilers say that he becomes Darth Vader. And then I think
this is before. Oh, okay.
Well, no. So Ahsoka takes place after Return of the Jedi, I believe. So you have to correct me on that. But Anakin during the Clone Wars, when he was just Anakin and not Darth Vader yet, he was Ahsoka's master.
Gotcha.
So, he taught her everything that she knows. In the animated series, they do fight at one point, and like part of his mask breaks off, and you can like see his face, a little bit of his face, and Ahsoka knows. She's like, oh, like she didn't realize that, Anakin had turned to Darth Vader. So I think they're showing you flashbacks. It's like, hey, he's giving Ahsoka advice back in the day, like this is how you fight. This is what you need to do. And so I think we're going to see him in flashbacks. But I love because Hayden Christensen's like Leo. He doesn't age. He still looks super young.
I was going to say, yeah,
he looks great. Yeah, he still looks like he could be 25 years old. So I'm glad that he's coming back. So yeah, I'm excited. But that's why it's a flashback. It's not like present day, so to speak.
So everybody's talking about Lars Mikkelsen in the chat. What is Lars Mikkelsen does what again?
So Thrawn is another character. I'm not going to go. Now this is where I get a little lost. But Thrawn, he's blue. He's blue. And he works for the Empire. And he's a big figure. He's been around for years and years and years in the old books and in the new series. Again, this is from Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
He goes away with another character that may or may not make an appearance in this show. But yeah, it's exciting. Lars Mikkelsen did the voice of Thrawn. I believe he did the voice of him in Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. I think. Again,
and is this Mads Mikkelsen's dad?
No, it's Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
Oh,
which is really cool. Yeah, it's Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
Okay.
So people in the chat are gonna have to correct me on some of this. I don't know everything, but yeah, he is Thrawn, I believe.
Langley M. Neely. Oh my goodness, who are these two gentlemen back together again? I haven't seen you guys talking TV in ages. Well, we're here, Langley. So great to see you. All on this side of the table, my friend. I haven't seen you in chat in a long time, so always a pleasure. Send the positivity. So Thrawn is blue. Well, you would imagine Thrawn is evil. It's not like Thrawn is one of those names like
he's not a good guy.
Really
no,
nice.
He's not a good
Thrawn.
guy. Yeah. No,
like Thrawn.
No.
I'm surprised Thrawn wasn't like a WWE character. You know what I mean?
It's a very powerful name, Thrawn.
Thrawn. Long Thrawn Silver. All right, you know what? I'm gonna stop. Thrawn Johns. Yeah.
Josh, are you going to sit there on premiere day?
Thrawn mower?
Oh boy, just laying them out today. It's just throwing them out there. Just coming at you.
Comathron? Is it Comic-Con? No. That would actually be Comathron.
But this looks good, Josh. I'm excited. I'm getting excited about a new Disney Plus show. I feel like I haven't been excited about a Disney Plus show in a while.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this one. I'm looking forward to this one.
DDLD, good to see you in chat. But based on this, so who is then? What is the plot of this show? I haven't really gotten that yet.
Again, so there's all these characters. A lot of the characters you see in the trailer are from Star Wars Rebels. There's the green person. That's Hera.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher all these names. Yeah, you have Ahsoka.
On the spot.
And then the girl like with the rainbow color hair is Sabine Wren, I think.
Okay.
I've only seen Rebels once. It's been a while. But all these characters, this is what this is about. But it's Return of the Jedi's already happened. So it's past all that. There's Darth Vader exists. Darth Vader is working with the Emperor right now. But I don't know who Ray Stevenson's supposed to be. I think you can look up his character online. But I don't know who he's. The guy with the white beard.
Yeah.
And the kind of almost like reddish orange saber. He passed recently in real life.
So we think he's bad or good? Is he good or bad?
Well, he's got the red saber or the red orange saber. I would assume he's bad. I mean, he's about to fight Ahsoka. So
I thought he was training her. No,
maybe I don't know. Again, I haven't done a lot of research. I'm not sure about the show, but
I'm really putting you on the spot.
I know. I am not like Christian Harloff, and I can't do like heavy Star Wars lore. I can go a little bit. Again, I just dabble.
Don't you know I'm Ahsoka? Okay, well, I'm pumped for it because listen, I'm just a Star Wars fan. I don't know anything about the lore. I don't do anything about the canon. I don't need people telling me that what they like and what they don't, what I should and shouldn't like. All I can say is that I'm excited to see lightsabers, and I love Rosario Dawson and everything she does. Salad Brown Bacon says, do you know for sure that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Anakin only in flashbacks, or do you think he could appear as Anakin as a Force ghost too? I don't know about that, but that's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I assume it's a flashback. Either way, he will look as he did in the old series. So yeah.
Doomcoast 12 says, I think there's a 10 to 15 minute Rebels recap on YouTube that could be good to see.
There you go.
Yeah.
Josh, if you watch that, you will be caught up with Ahsoka. You'll be like, oh.
Yeah, but Rebels is animated, right?
But it's only a recap, though. It's just a quick recap. Let's watch the whole show. Just a little recap. You don't like animated stuff, right? Is that a thing? Yeah, no. Really not the animated.
I like Family Guy and The Simpsons.
You like Bluey?
I do like Bluey. Yeah.
There you go.
And now that I have a daughter who's 2.5, I've watched like a decent amount of animated movies that I never thought that I'd never seen before that are older, right? Like Sing and Sing 2 and Zootopia is adorable.
Miles loves the new Mario Brothers movie. It's on Peacock. You can stream.
Really?
Speaking of streaming, you can stream the new Mario Brothers. It's entertaining. I missed it in the theater. I like it. It's good.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm excited. I mean, a couple
Rosie
of
will probably like it. Yeah.
Okay. Brian Newsbaum, does Josh enjoy Beavis and Butthead? I saw the movie. I was never a fan of the show. But I understand its place in cultural significance as far as comedy goes. And it launched Mike Judge, which is great.
I love King of the Hill.
King of the Hill is amazing. I actually did watch a lot of King of the Hill. Damn it, Bobby.
One of the actors passed.
Yes.
The
guy that plays Dale, right? The actor that plays Dale.
Yeah.
And then but Mike Judge, without Beavis and Butthead, we don't get King of the Hill and we don't get Office Space. and we don't get.
Oh, the HBO show, Silicon Valley. Isn't that Mike Judge?
That is Mike Judge. You're right. We don't get Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
so
Silicon Valley was pretty good.
And then so wait, Langley and Neely, I'm excited that these shows are all leading to an Heir to the Empire film. Is that something that
Heir to the Empire is Thrawn? Supposed, yeah, that's like, I think that was his. Again, I have to look. That was, I believe, yeah, Timothy. Again, this is like deep Star Wars. So Timothy Zahn, this is what they call legends. It's not the new canon, it's legends. So they're old stories. But Heir to the Empire had to do with Thrawn and all that. So again, Josh, if you want a little bit of light reading, you could go back and read books that don't really, I don't want to say they don't matter anymore, but they're not in the new canon. But it was a very good series. I actually read that series long time ago.
We know my thoughts on books, okay?
I know.
Especially on this show.
Put down the book, pick up the remote. Yes.
Yeah. Now, if he was still alive, I think Sean Connery would make a great Thrawn because you could call him Thrawn Connery.
Oh boy. But then he'd be Scottish. Thrawn doesn't need to be Scottish. So that's not. We don't need no diss to the Scottish peoples, but just no Scottish.
Scott, see, you don't want the Scots talking in your Star Wars there, David. Oh Christ. Brian Nussbaum. I read that Johnny Hardwick already recorded lines for the new King of the Hill. Oh, because he played. I did see that in something.
Okay.
Reefism says it best. I'm a Star Wars fan too, but I never took the time to dive deep into the lore or the mythology. That's okay.
Yeah, I've read like a couple of the books here and there. I just enjoy it. I like coming in, checking it out, and then just leaving. I'm out. I'm good.
They should have just made them magazines or comic books.
Comic books. There are Star Wars comic books, Josh. There are.
Okay.
We've done the first. We've done number one on our discussion point. We've done one.
All right, let's talk about Lioness. If you're not watching Lioness, get your head out of your lion ass and start watching some Lioness. This might be the best show of 2023 so far, at least the best drama of 2023 so far. New drama. It is fantastic. It's awesomely produced. I mean, Taylor Sheridan probably gets whatever budget he wants at this point. What's our girl's name? What's her name?
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana. God, why did I kind of be?
Yeah.
And the girl who plays the mole, she's
I'm gonna butcher her
too.
name. She's really good. Yeah. She's
and
really good.
The guys who play the Marines, aka like the recon, to see it. Holy moly!
Those are all Taylor Sheridan guys. So you recognize the one guy with the beard, LaMonica Garrett. He was in 1883.
Yes.
And then the one kind of chubby guy with the long goatee. He was in the movie. He's been in a bunch of movies, but he was in the one with the one in the snow with Jeremy Renner. He went out to Wyoming. No. It was a Taylor Sheridan movie. Yeah, it took place on the reservation out in Wyoming. It's really good. But Taylor Sheridan, I think he wrote and directed it. And that guy with the goatee on the team,
Wind River.
Yeah, Wind River. Yeah,
I did watch that. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean, shockingly, they call it Wind Renner. You know what I mean? I'm on fire today, David. On friggin' fire. Yes. Jerry Miller.
If you're new here, folks, Josh is just throwing out zingers just left and right. You're getting them all night here.
I mean, you know who has a great voice for Star Wars, and it would make sense, is John Hamm's Thrawn Hamm.
John Hamm would be a good Thrawn. I think he could pull that off, Thrawn Hamm.
Take a seat in the all-new Mercedes-Benz E-Class. It'll take you to the galaxy and back. I'm Thrawn Hamm. Wind River. But Lioness, okay.
So good.
Sometimes when they shoehorn family drama into shows like this, it's literally just to show that the character is like full circle when we didn't really need it. You could have just gone full Lioness and I couldn't care less who her family is. But holy moly. I accidentally swallowed a popcorn kernel this morning and it hasn't gotten out of like my throat.
Oh.
I know. Jose Mejia, I love that we're talking Lioness. Let's go, Lioness. But the dynamic with her daughter and her husband and what it takes to like be a success. If you're a kid or and you were like, hey, I want to be in the CIA, but also have a family, maybe you watch Lioness and you're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. Right?
It's not, we haven't seen yet. Morgan Freeman is in this, and we have not seen Morgan Freeman yet. We're 5 episodes in. He's in this. His character's name is Edwin Mullins, and we have not seen Morgan Freeman. He's on the poster, and he says on IMDb that he's in 3 episodes. There's 3 episodes left, so maybe he'll be in the last 3. Maybe he's going to be in the last 3.
I wish I could tell you that I knew which episodes I was in, David. Okay. And I wish I could tell you the sisters never got the best of Andy Dufresne. My Morgan Freeman's horrendous, but
I prefer more Driving Miss Daisy. That's my Morgan Freeman. Oh, Miss Daisy.
Reefism. Have you seen the teaser trailer? We talked about Bass Reeves last week. Taylor Sheridan's Bass Reeves series.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
It looks good. They show it every episode before Lioness. They show that Bass Reeves trailer. Yeah, it looks great.
Well, one of Yellowstone's spinoffs in the works is literally called 6666. It's about the ranch in Texas that Jimmy went to work on.
And remember all the
actual working ranch. That's an actual working ranch. Yeah.
And remember all the guys at the end of the last season of Yellowstone were all going down to Texas. Remember they had to make their way down there. That was like the end of the last season. So I think that's all just going to merge. And then I'm sure Matthew McConaughey will show up and he'll be like, hey, let's just film this in Texas. I can go home every night to my family. I can do a podcast, write my books. It's good.
I can call Morgan Freeman and we can talk about Lioness.
I wonder if Morgan just shows up. They're like, hey, man, you want to make a little bit of money and you're going to be in the show with Nicole Kidman? He's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, how many days of shooting? A week. That's fine. Okay, I'll do it. That's fine.
Now, do I get to see Nicole Kidman's ankles? Because I hear she's got.
Oh, no.
He's like, yeah, Morgan, you can look at her ankles, whatever you want. Hey, Nicole, real quick, can you just show Morgan your ankles? He said he'd do the show if you. Sure, I'll show him my ankles. No, I will tell you what.
Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes. Hi, I'm Morgan Freeman. Do you have ankles?
If I see any news bite about Morgan Freeman, I just ignore it. Like I can't have these images in my head. He's just like the old grandpa to me. I can't. I can't do
it. Nicole Kidman, as far as like a career arc, right? I didn't see her becoming like this TV star that hasn't smiled in a show ever. Like she's never smiled. She didn't smile in 2 seasons of Big Little Lies. She hasn't smiled in this show yet. And she is a badass. Like I'm scared to death of Nicole Kidman in this one, right?
And I love that every guy she's next to, pretty much, she's taller than everybody. Like she's her Zoe Saldana's husband, Dave Annabelle Neal. Like she's taller than him. She just towers over everyone. And the actor who plays her husband, who we only seen a couple scenes.
He's the guy.
He's a great actor. Great character actor. Oh, yeah. He's like that guy from That Guy. He's one of those people. Great character actor.
I think I interviewed him for a junket a while back, and he said I laughed too much.
Oh.
It's like, you laugh too much. I'm like, I try. I mean, it's. I also had somebody in a junket tell me I smile too much and then I'm going to get wrinkles around my eyes, which is very true because I got some solid crow's feet, but I can't stop smiling and I'm not going to stop laughing. So you guys
do you, Judge. You got to be who you are. That's all you can do. You can't please everybody. Yeah, it's fine.
Also, Taylor Sheridan has a series in development with Billy Bob Thornton called Landman. Landman?
It'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be the best new show of 2024.
I mean, at this point, Taylor Sheridan just walks into pitch rooms. He's like, hey, I got a show. It's called Grass Clippings. They're like, Don, what's it about? He's like, me mowing the lawn for 10 weeks. I'm in.
He's keeping Paramount's television division like afloat. At least their streaming division. Yeah, he's keeping their streaming division. That and Star Trek. All they have is they have Star Trek and they have Taylor Sheridan. That's pretty much it in terms of their streaming.
Jeremy Miller says, sorry if I mentioned earlier, but has Josh started or finished Under the Banner of Heaven? Well, Jeremy, if you want me to start and finish Under the Banner of Heaven, I have to finish Mayans first. And I have 3 episodes left, I think. I have 3 episodes left. As soon as I'm done with Mayans, I'm going Under the Banner of Heaven. And if you want to support the show, you can Streamlabs or you can Super Chat. Thank you so much. Langley and Mealy, I wish I could have a fraction of Sheridan's pool with Paramount. Hey, everybody in Hollywood wishes they had a fraction of Taylor Sheridan's pool. Literally, the guy can pitch anything he wants and it will get greenlit.
And it gets everybody. Like the season, I want to say it's like the season premiere of 1883 or maybe like the second episode. Like Tom Hanks shows up, Billy Bob Thornton, and Tom Hanks' wife. I'm like, how are you getting like for like one episode?
One episode.
In and out. I'm like, you just like call up Tom, like, hey Tom, you want to come? Oh, sure. Why not?
It's crazy. I mean, before you know it, Adele's just going to be singing the entire soundtrack for 1887, which is 4 years after 1883. I'm telling you right now, and I'm livid If Taylor Sheridan, before he dies or stops making TV, doesn't make a show called Oregon Trail, I am gonna be livid.
That would be good. Yeah.
He's got it. Somebody's got to die of dysentery. Somebody's got to ford that damn river. You know what I mean? Kids these days acting like they don't even know how to ford a river.
Okay, I know we're going off a little tangent. I just had one beef with Special Ops. It was the scene. I don't get too spoilery here, but it's when Neil was talking to his daughter. Neil is married to Zoe Saldana's character. Again, no one has last names. Zoe Saldana's Joe. Dave Annabelle is just Neil. I don't know what her last name is.
We're not allowed. She's the lioness, dog.
Right. We have her daughter. He's like, what did I tell you? We told you things, no sex and no getting in cars with other teenage drivers. I'm like, what do you want a teenager? How are we supposed to get around? Every teenager gets in a car with another teenager. Like, what?
Yes.
And it's like, that's why he was like getting mad, blaming her. I'm like, what are you talking about? It wasn't her fault they got in a wreck. She wasn't driving.
She wasn't like hitting a bong and shotgunning a Milwaukee's Best Light. She just wasn't paying attention because all kids do is text. And then
yeah. I don't know.
Right?
Anyway, that was my only gripe. But otherwise, Lioness is awesome. Watch it.
Watch Lioness. And then finally, all right, Justified. I love it. I'm going to continue watching it because I need to know what happens. But Raylan Givens would not have sex with the enemy. I'm sorry. She's an enemy lawyer. I know he's got like a thing for her, and that's cool and everything. But Raylan Givens would not have sex with her until he's got that guy behind bars. Then he can go to Pound Town. But until then, he stays in Detroit, and he busts this dude, and he follows that lawyer, and he gets close to her, but he doesn't bang her. He can't. That's not his character. And by the way, hey, Timothy Oliphant, eat something. When he was walking,
dude.
Holy shit, that is terrifying. He makes Cody Hall look like the fat. Like he makes. I mean, I know. Wow. Yeah.
I think it's just genetics. He's always looked like that, though. I don't think he's ever been bulky. He's always.
I don't think he can.
I don't think he can. He's just one of those. He's just lean and mean.
I hope that
good for him.
I hope the next Justified goes to Indianapolis or Buffalo or Pittsburgh.
Ooh, yeah. I do like. Josh gonna say I like the relationship that Raylan is having on the show. I don't, and not because of the race, not because she's black and he's white, but I think
that doesn't matter to me.
This show, no, not that. No, I'm just saying I like that he's going after her. Like I think it's just cool. Like I feel like if this is on ABC or NB, like you wouldn't see that dynamic. I don't know. I just think it's a really cool relationship that like I wouldn't picture his character. I don't know. I think it's just cool that they're have a little hookup going on there. I like.
Wow, David disagreeing with me. Okay, that's why this show's called David's Right and Josh is Wrong.
I'm into it.
Okay, he's into it. All right, let's rank our shows of 2016. David?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Ready. We're going number 5, number 1.
Okay, yes. We start with our 5. I'm going to start with some honorable mentions. Okay,
honorable mention sounds good. That works. Let's do that.
And then I'll give one not honorable mention because I went
These
down
are
the
best new shows of 2016, not best shows, any show, just new shows that had to premiere in 2016.
Yes. Premiere in 20. They had multiple seasons, but they had to premiere in 2016. Okay. Yeah. Here are my honorable mentions. The People vs. O.J. Simpson, which started American Crime Story. I thought that was so well done. It basically put Sterling K. Brown on the map in the same year that This Is Us came out.
That made my top 5, Josh.
What, This Is Us?
No, The People vs. O.J.
Oh, wow. It was basically my number 6. It just popped out.
It's close.
Billions, Fleabag, Vice Principals. I was going to put it in there, but it's only 2. It's basically I don't know. I love that show so much. Last Chance U premiered in 2016. One of the better sports documentary series.
Great.
Letterkenny, the Canadian series, and Goliath, which had a second season. I never watched it. I loved the first season. I never watched another season of the show.
That's Prime Video, yeah. Billy Bob. Good old Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob. And then here's my not honorable mentions, David. The OA, that show made no sense. I have no idea what that show was about. It was the stupidest show. Lethal Weapon, it came out in 2016. I can't believe they made that into a TV show. So dumb. The Kevin Bacon Show, I Love Dick. No, it's not.
I forgot about that.
Remember that? We did that on TV Talk. And Better Things. I know everybody talks about Better Things.
I like Better Things.
Oh, man.
Like Pamela Alden?
Yeah, I liked her in the Louis. That show is just so complainy.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
All
right. For my honorable
number 5?
mentions.
Oh, you got honorable.
Just a couple honorable mentions. Speaking of documentaries, the Hillsborough documentary. You remember that one
Oh,
about
yes.
the people that were trampled during the match in
Yes.
Hillsborough? That was, I think ESPN aired it. I don't know if it was a 30 for 30, but I think it was on ESPN. That was great. The Good Place. Again, I'm not that big into comedies, but I like The Good Place. The Ted Danson and
I watched every episode. I liked that show.
I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I have Westworld season 1.
David,
Westworld kind of went, I don't know, but I love the first season.
See right here, there's a rule. There's rule number 1. Don't talk about Westworld.
I know it went a little it got too theory heavy and you had to go deep into Reddit to know what was going on. But I enjoyed the first season.
I don't know why I'm supposed to like robots.
I thought Ed Harris. I liked Ed Harris. I loved Ed Harris on that show.
Yeah, Ed Harris is great in other things.
All right. I was right. You don't like no robots for Josh. I forgot about that. No robots for Josh. This is my honorable mentions. It's mine.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Another one is The Girlfriend Experience on Stars. Riley Coe. Just the first season. Remember it was.
She's Daisy Jones. She's Daisy Jones.
Yeah, she's good. That's isn't that Elvis Presley's granddaughter?
Yeah.
She's a Presley.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Anyway, it was good. It was based off Steven Soderbergh's film that had Sasha Grey in it. That was a little controversial. Remember that? But I like the first season of that. Anyway, Fleabag I have there, and then another one that almost made it, The Night Manager. Josh, did you ever watch The Night Manager with Tom Hiddleston? Remember that?
Yes, we both watched it. And I always made fun of it because it had those stupid snap zooms that British TV is famous for, where it's like, check out this eyeball. Look at this eyeball. But the story itself was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And Josh, it's coming back, and Tom Hiddleston is returning after 8 years. It's coming back. They're working on it.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, London Spy or not The Night Manager season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Vinyl did come out in 2016, and that's a not honorable mention. That show was garbage.
I think didn't Scorsese direct the pilot?
Yes.
Yeah.
And talk about a show that wasted talent, because Bobby Cannavale is one of my favorite actors. He's incredible.
His role in, speaking of other Scorsese projects, his in Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
he wasn't lucky,
villain.
but he was the villain. He was fantastic.
It was awesome. You saw his wiener.
You did. It was soaked in blood too. It was after he killed a bunch of dudes. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Naked. Yeah. He was awesome in did you ever see that movie with Paul Giamatti where he's like the lawyer / wrestling coach in that high school? It's like I forget what that movie's called. Anybody's I love that movie. I forget what it's called.
When you say wrestling, I'm thinking of Steve Carell. It's the only wrestling movie I can think of.
I'm like waffle. The Jonathan Peck. So I saw this in the list. This was 2016, and I think maybe Jonathan Peck and I are the only people that have ever watched The Get Down. It was the Baz Luhrmann show that took place in the Bronx. It wasn't terrible. It was apparently extremely expensive, but yeah. Oh yeah, no. That I know Foxcatcher. I know that. I'm talking about.
It wasn't like Magic Mike in that movie too.
He was. Yeah.
It's Magic Mike and Steve Carell. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
The one with Paul Giamatti and Bobby Cannavale. I forget what it's called. Anyway, the Get Down wasn't bad. Okay, number 5, David, go.
I'm going with a show called London Spy.
I knew you were going to throw some British show in here that nobody's
ever
ever
seen.
It's
not just no. People in the comments are going to know. There's a lot of British folk over here. And people across the pond. They know London Spy. Yeah.
Win was the name of the movie. Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
London Spy.
Tell me about London Spy, David.
It was it was a one-off, one and done. You got Ben Whishaw, Jim Broadbent, Charlotte Rampling. You have some great British character actors. And what happens is Ben Whishaw is dating I think he's an MI5 code breaker, code writer, something like that. Okay. And that's his lover, and he's killed. And then this guy, Ben Whishaw, is not a spy, spy experience. And he gets wrapped up in this world. And it's so good. It's suspenseful. It's well written. It's got great direction. It doesn't look cheap or anything like that. I love that show. I remember when it came out, I was like, wow, I wish they had made more seasons, but they only did one. It was just one and done.
Where is it right now? Where can people watch it?
Where it says you can watch it right now for free on the Roku channel. For free on the Roku channel. You can watch that for free.
Roku's, dude, friggin' Roku.
Yeah.
Roku.
Yeah. And so Tom G's asking, never heard of London Spy, about spies in London. Yes, there's spies in London, but Ben Whishaw is not a spy. That's what makes it interesting, because he's because his lover was killed. He's getting into that world, but he doesn't really know anything about it. So that's what makes it interesting.
Okay.
No.
All right. My number 5, David. It's not London Spy.
I didn't think
it's This Is Us. Okay.
Yeah.
This Is Us premiered 2016. I cried a lot during that first season, and then cried a lot throughout the rest of the show. It kind of created this new genre of schmaltzy drama on network TV. It gave NBC its first hit in years. And it's launched the careers of, few people in that show. That they all became superstars. And I thought that, it ended when it should have ended, and it ended great. And the series finale had me crying. And I think, it created this way of storytelling that it was a family drama that had a lot of like heartfelt stuff to it. But you were predicting things like it was some sort of, I don't know, like superhero drama. Like where's this going to go? What's going to happen? Can you believe? And it was just a family drama. And I appreciated that. So, yeah.
I saw the first couple seasons. I was just waiting to see how the dad died. I don't think I ever actually made it. Like the house caught on fire. I'm like, is this how he dies?
Yeah.
He's gonna get hit by a car. Like, I just kept waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the first season. I agree. A lot of tears. I think after the second season, I just fell off. But I love Mandy Moore in that too. I think Mandy Moore was great. I enjoyed her. Did
Marcella premiere in 2016? I don't think Marcella's my favorite.
It depends, because like Marcella isn't, Netflix took the rights to it in the States, but I don't know. Yeah, we talked about Marcella. Remember we talked about
that? I liked that first season of Marcella.
When did that premiere?
Marcella.
Yeah, it was 2016.
Yeah, good one, Reefism.
Yeah, good one. I don't know if that would have made my top 5, but that'd be an honorable mention. Mention for sure.
All right, what's your number 4? What's your 4, David?
What do we got here? Number 4, we are going the night of. Could have been higher.
So I was going to put that at like number 1.
I'd agree with that.
It's so good. It's also my number 4 though. We both
really?
We nailed that. Yes.
Wow.
I loved the night of. I thought the night of it's so dark and so gritty and a commentary, but there's something about that show that really just got me. And I think about that show whenever I think about prison. I think about that show. Scares the shit out of me.
Whenever I see Riz Ahmed, who he pops in and out of things, whenever I see his face, I'm like, oh, the night of. I love Riz Ahmed, because then John Turturro, I would have loved, in a perfect world, even though Turturro was fantastic, I would have loved to have seen James. Yeah, I know. I would have loved to have seen James Gandolfini, who was originally supposed to play that role. He was helping to develop the show, and then he passed away. But I would have loved to have seen Gandolfini in that role too. That would have been great.
Totally.
One of the best.
Whenever I weirdly think of, because Michael Kenneth Williams, rest in peace, another guy that died way too early. He was so good in that show. Holy moly.
Very good.
He's got all those cell phones. He runs that prison. The way they shot that show, it just was really well done all the way around.
And like really, his transformation from this kind of, kid who just wants to fit in and go to a party and meet girls and do whatever, to like this kind of like hard, not a criminal, but he's been in prison. He got pretty tough,
And
he's
he
like doing drugs and he's got some tats. It's like,
it's a scene. It's a scene.
Yeah.
So that was my number 4. Okay. What's your number 3?
Number
David?
3. Oh, so I've talked about already. People versus O.J. Simpson, the first season of American Crime Story. What a stacked, that might be. I know everybody talks about True Detective because you get McConaughey and you get, Woody Harrelson, but John Travolta, all these, just a huge cast for that show, and just so well done. That was like one of the best ensemble casts I think ever assembled for a TV show. I would say if there's a weakest link, maybe it might be OJ. Not OJ. It might be
Kuba?
I thought he was good, but I felt like everybody else around him was just doing just 10 out of 10. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. I love that. I feel like the American Crime Story, did the Clinton one, and they did the one about Versace, and I feel like they were good, but it just never quite hit as high as OJ was the best. That was the best one.
I think it set the tone, and every show was trying to chase that.
Yeah.
Right. It was trying to chase the genius of that show. I probably should have put it in my top 5 as you talk about it. I'm glad you put it in yours, and at least we mentioned it. But Sarah Paulson, I know she'd been in stuff before, but that was like my real introduction to Sarah Paulson. And then since then, it's like, if Sarah Paulson's in something, look out. I am going to watch it. Her in the dinner scene in The Bear in episode 6 is awesome. And she has probably the smallest part in that episode.
Yeah. There's one person, Josh, I'm always blank, forget names. I just wanted to make sure.
David Schwimmer?
No, sure. No, who played Cochran, who was just, talk about like an all-star performance too from him. Sterling K. Not Sterling K.
No.
Where is he? He's married to Vanessa. Where is he?
Viola Davis' husband, right?
No, not Viola Davis. Of course, I'm getting Courtney B. Vance.
Courtney B. Vance.
Angela Bassett. He's married to Angela Bassett. Talk about a power couple. But Courtney B. Vance is, because I think Angela gets Angela's in bigger movies. She's up for some more accolades. But her husband, Courtney B. Vance, that guy can act. He was
MK
so
Songbird. I was actually gonna put this in my list, and it was the year of OJ. It was the Made in America.
That was on Hulu, I think. Yeah, that was good too.
Great. And Jonathan Peck says it best. Courtney Vance, great as Johnny Cochran. My number 3 is Stranger Things. Now, everybody's like, well, why didn't you put that at 1? Okay. Or 2. I love Stranger Things. And I think that I think the show brought back so much nostalgia that we look past it as it being like perfect TV, right? And like, oh, it's perfect TV, when in reality it's just like, hey, look how crappy parents were back then. Right? Yeah. But it is still well done, and I have no idea if I like where it's gone or if I don't like where it's gone. I just need to see it end. But that first season that was kind of the season of TV where you would imagine for the next year, every writer went into a pitch room in Hollywood and said, it's like Stranger Things meets tennis camp. And they're like, wait, okay. You know what I mean? So,
that would have been one of my honorable mentions. I almost forgot about it. But I feel like the further we've gotten away from it, the longer it's been on, I feel like the less impact. Like when it comes back, I'm like, oh, it's coming back. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to enjoy it. But it's not a show I think I'd ever go back and rewatch. I don't think about it when it's not around. Like when it comes on, I'm like, oh, great. Like when The Bear, like I still think I'll think about scenes from The Bear in my head. I know. Or from Sopranos or from stuff will just pop in my head depending on the situation. But I don't really think about Stranger Things when it's not on.
Agreed. Well said.
That's no shot to the show.
No.
It's still super enjoyable.
I look at a lot of things like watchability factor, right? And it doesn't have a rewatchability factor in my opinion. Like I could go back and rewatch a lot of these shows. Tom G says, I know Josh saying, I know Sarah Paulson and other stuff, reaffirming he's not touching American Horror Story with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. I'm not a psycho.
Josh doesn't like the scary stuff. No scary stuff.
Wade Harvey saying, great seeing you guys again. Thanks, Wade Harvey. Great to see you. All right, David, you're number 2. You're 2.
Josh, we're going British again. We're going The Crown.
I knew you were going to put The Crown in here. I knew it.
Premiere of The Crown. I mean, that just has everything going. It's history. It's British. An incredible cast. You have Matt Smith. You have Doctor Who playing Prince Philip. I mean, and I love the show, how it's developed. You get new cast. But I mean, just those first 2 seasons were, you didn't like The Crown?
But David, up the court.
So good. And you had, I think, was Vanessa Kirby? Yeah, Vanessa Kirby was Princess Margaret. Oh my! I mean,
Vanessa Kirby that's.
Did you see the new Mission Impossible? Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
She's so good. I mean, she's always good. But I mean, I mean, just what a cast, what a show. Peter Morgan. It's shot beautifully. I mean, it's big production. It feels like a show you would see on HBO. I feel like Netflix has kind of gotten away from. They don't really, outside of Stranger Things and The Crown, they don't have a lot of those. I think they used to, when they first came, when they were doing, shows with Kevin Spacey and all that. But I feel like their shows don't have that. The Crown is one of their prestigious shows, and it looks like it's prestige TV. And it gets a lot of Emmys because of it, because of the cast, because of the writing. I know some people say it's boring. They're like, nothing happens.
It's
It's
slow.
boring. It is.
I mean, boring.
Queen Elizabeth, she's not gonna get a gun and go out and shoot people. It's not Saving Private Ryan. I mean, what do you expect? She's the queen.
You bitches wanted the queen, did ya? That would be a sick spin-off of The Crown.
I love it.
Yeah, no, my mom loves The Crown. I really enjoyed I've seen every season and I've enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I got a little tired of it. But the first season was a game changer, David. You're not wrong. That first season, 2016. We're only talking 2016.
We're only talking 2016. Yeah, I know. I hear Langley saying Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman was fantastic in seasons 3 and 4. But those first 2 seasons were great.
Claire Foy and those giant eyeballs.
Claire Foy, yeah.
All right, my number 2 is Atlanta. I've watched every episode. I don't think I've liked a season enough. I don't think I've liked a season as much as I've liked season 1 of Atlanta.
Agreed.
Of the show.
Agreed, yeah.
And they took such a long break between seasons because they all became superstars, Lakeith and Brian and Donald. They took those, and even Zazie Beetz, they took such huge breaks that I forgot about the show, and it's hard to get back into. But they do, the thing about Atlanta, it's not a comedy. Even though people say it's a comedy, it's not a comedy. It's a drama.
Yeah.
With weirdness. It's a weird drama that we're supposed to laugh at some things at, right? Like I've never laughed out loud to it. But it was a game changer. It was a game changer, and you can't say enough about kind of its place in the history of television since 2016, because it gave those slice of life shows, those weirdness of I don't think without Atlanta, you don't see shows like Dave. You don't see a lot of TV as it is now without people taking a lot of inspiration from Atlanta. So
yeah, I mean, let's go into my number 1, Josh. Atlanta's my number 1.
Is it your number 1?
I mean,
okay.
I don't think a show coming out the gate had that much of an impact on me. Just being like, what is this? Like, I knew Donald Glover, like I knew Childish Gambino, I knew of him. I know he used to write for 30 Rock. I think he was like 23 years old, 24, and he was already writing episodes for 30 Rock. I knew he was talented, but I didn't know he could do this. And he was just like, it was just like every episode was like amazing. They were short too. I think they were only like 30-minute episodes. And now to see like Brian Tyree Henry and Lakeith Stanfield, like just how their careers have blown up. I mean, obviously Donald Glover, but I mean, and even Zazie Beetz, I'm watching that show full circle. It's taking me forever to get through, but the new Soderbergh show on HBO Max, which is good. I mean, it's a great show.
Again, it really,
it's hard to even, you can't really categorize it.
No,
put in a category. I don't even know how to.
It's pivotal, right? It's a pivotal moment in television. And it probably should have been my number 1. And I kind of wanted to like buck the trend with my number 1. But I will say that if you go back and watch, Donald Glover was part of a sketch group out of NYU. They were called Derek Comedy. Derek Comedy, a bunch of their stuff went super viral. And you see a lot of the people that were in their sketches are now stars, right?
Yeah.
They made a movie called Mystery Team, and it had Aubrey Plaza in it. They made all these funny sketches. They're hysterical. And that's how he got the job writing for 30 Rock. A bunch of the Derek Comedy guys, that was their first writing gig. They got hired there. Some of them went to Saturday Night Live, all New York based, all NYU guys. And, as much as, I didn't like the fact that Donald Glover came into the bar I worked at twice and didn't tip. I still appreciate all of the.
Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes. Nope, okay, my number 1 show. Now you were like, "Oh, what are you gonna do, Luke Cage?" No, although I should have put.
I did not think you were gonna do that. I would not think it was gonna be Luke Cage. The first season, Luke Cage.
The first season, it's good.
I agree.
I like the first season of Luke Cage. Little show called Baskets on FX is my number 1 new show of 2016. Okay. Zach Galifianakis never did TV, right? He was a movie star, a stand-up comedian. He plays 2 parts. Louis Anderson as his mom. It's such a weird slice of life show that is absolutely hysterical in a real slapstick comedy kind of way. Louis Anderson won an Emmy for his role as the mom, and it's I don't know, man. It's this heartfelt comedy that hit me in a way that it kind of inspired me to maybe write something or do something. And I just thought it was great. It was great. And the opening scene always sits with me whenever I go to a very expensive restaurant. Okay, this opening scene, David, and he sits down and he's in France and he's going to clown school. Okay, in France, right? It's so silly. It's just great. And he's like, I will have the number 4. And he's like, sir, those are the prices. That is a single carrot. And he's like, oh, okay, then I will have the 6. It's just too good. It's so good, man.
I've heard nothing but good things. Now I'm sure it's all on Hulu. I need to watch that. I've heard my friend, Liam, buddy Liam, that was one of his favorite shows too.
Okay. Yeah. Baskets was just great. Great. Honorable mention to a show that got canceled after 1 season, which is Pitch on Fox. It got overshadowed by another Dan Fogelman created show, which is This Is Us. Pitch was about a woman pitcher going into the major leagues.
Because what's his name? Zach from Saved by the Bell was on there.
Yes,
yeah.
Paul Gosselaar. I watched every episode. We both
it was good. I didn't put on my honorable mentions. That was a good show. I forgot about that show.
Jonathan Peck. Well done.
Oh, Jonathan because they were in San Diego. They played for the Padres.
Yeah, Padres. Yes. Yeah. And the dad was like, it's good. I like that show. I was a big fan of the Pitch. One of those gone too soon, canceled too soon shows. Well, that's our definitive ranking of best new shows of 2016. We're gonna maybe so next week should we go back to the beginning and then start at like 2001? Do you want to do that? 2000. Let's look at a year or in 2 weeks, like a week after. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Okay, we'll talk.
Gotta keep it going.
Until then, David, what's your
My pick of the week is Bills versus Steelers in Pittsburgh. The preseason has begun. Pickett to Pickens in Pittsburgh and Allen to Diggs in Buffalo. Probably none of those people will play a single down, but that's okay because you get to see, lovely Pittsburgh on TV on a nice summer evening. I'm excited to watch. I like preseason football. I like seeing the rookies, people you may never see again. They get a shot. Who knows what can happen?
It's the Paris of Pennsylvania, David. It's the Paris of Pennsylvania. My of the week is Fisk on Netflix. Okay, comedy. I've only seen the first episode, but I laughed throughout the whole thing. It was so funny, and highly recommend Fisk on Netflix. Amanda and I are both watching it together. It's one of our shows now. You need a wife show. Everybody needs you need a wife show. Fisk. If you have a wife and you guys want to watch something funny together, highly recommend Fisk. And I highly recommend you all tuning in next week to TV Talk. We'll be back Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Josh Macuga at Josh Macuga, David Griffin at Griffin DE across social medias. We appreciate all of you tuning in. We appreciate everybody being nice to one another, kind to one another, spread positivity, choose positivity, text somebody, call them, tell them you love them. It matters. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good, put down the book, pick up the remote. We'll see you next time. David, just keep talking while I hit end broadcast.